What's up, everybody? We got game 2 here going on between Temp Team and Hontour Time Suck. And obviously, first game went to that Hontour Time Suck team on the Legion side last game. Boy, that was a well-constructed sentence. So you see the first ban affiliate here from ALG. Yep, that affiliate was a problem. And ALG's like, I'm not going to deal with it again. They took a pretty solid strat there. They did very well in the laning phase. They never really put the game in danger. They continuously pushed out. They took map control. They took too much farm. They took a Kongor, and eventually they were just like, all right, now we get racks. You know, we'll have a small engagement, pick a couple of heroes off, take some racks. There's nothing you can do about it. We'll take another small engagement. Actually, it was a big team fight in the top lane, and then that pushed in top, and then Temp Team was like, all right, that's it, that's game, we lose, and we'll go for the next one. So strong performance there from the guys on DREM / what does that actually stand for? One dream, one team. That's much nicer, much more positive than Hontour Time Suck. But regardless, we'll see what they can bring in game 2. Trying to knock out the guys on Temp Team here. Of course, Temp Team trying to stay alive. This is a single elimination tournament, Ultimate Series Solstice round of 8, the quarterfinals. So both sides looking for something here. ALG and the boys on Temp Team looking to stay alive. Nick and the guys on One Dream, One Team just want to live. And advance to the next round, which they can do with the win here. So, the rest of the bans are out: Ophelia, Tempest, Scout, and Warbeast. So similar as to last game, except this time they removed the Ophelia instead of the Parasite, and removed both the Scout and Warbeast suicides, as Tempest is also banned out. So, for the most part, the same bans, and with the Oath ban and Parasite available, Nick over here on the Hellborn side will first pick that Parasite. Make sure he grabs a jungler on top of that, and they're going to see a Bubbles. So lots of burst magic coming out there, lots of ganking potential. That's about it, but they've certainly got that locked down. Some team fight, of course. Bubbles Kelpfield has that, and some initiation potential as well there, but not the best, really, at either of those. Well, I guess the initiation might be his best role, but regardless, he is a strong hero, and those two paired together are quite powerful, as they can come together and do a ton of burst magic, kill pretty much anything in the game between the two of them if they drop all their spells. Legion side finishing off their first baking stages. They're going pretty fast here with Keeper of the Forest, Pressure Tag, and Pestilence all selected. So once again, that Keeper picked up. We'll see if he goes suicide this time, or if he is going to remain in the jungle. I think that the jungle is probably better suited for him. Obviously, very passive jungler, but last game, Hag in that short lane is pretty much okay with a passive jungler. Would certainly not mind a more aggressive jungler like that Parasite coming in, getting some gank set up. Hag can certainly participate in that early on, but I think as a solo laner is defensive enough to be like, I don't need you to be here all the time. I don't need you to keep putting pressure. I can take care of myself in this short lane. And yeah, this is pretty much the same draft as last game for the Legion side. So feeling like apparently they should have had the better of last game. So Keeper, Hag, and Pestilence also, very strong combination. Keeper locking people down, Pestilence locking people down, Hag setting up those nice bat blasts and sonar screams and auto attacks. So people can't get away. She can line things up correctly, and things will do well. On the Hellborn side, actually, it's except for Parasite, the same team as well. They had Ophelia last time. They had the Bubbles, they had their rally, and we'll see how that works well. It works for them. Last time it did pretty well, I think. Ophelia really fit that lineup better than Parasite does, because Ophelia brings more lockdown. She's a bit better at team fighting. She's more of a utility hero, and Parasite's just burst magic damage. They already have initiation with Bubbles and Rally, so they don't really need Parasite to jump people. Ophelia also brings some more stuns than Parasite does. So hopefully the Hellborn side will be able to lock down this Legion team and burst them quickly, because if they don't, they're not going to have a lot of sustained damage in these fights. They're not going to have a lot of sustained ability to keep people in place. And of course they have 2 picks left to address those holes, but also not a lot of push. That's the other thing you have to consider, is Ophelia brought a lot of push to that lineup last game, and really helped them take towers down a lot faster than they normally would have. And in this situation, it's going to be a lot harder for them to do that and to take map control the way they did in Game 1. And I think that was a huge part of them winning that, was the inability of the Hellborn to really farm anywhere safely because all their towers were dead. Anyway, bans are out here. Silhouette, Moon Queen, and Slither as ALG's targeting those short laners. No surprise, as presumably they already have theirs in Wretched Hag. And of course, Silhouette did quite well last game. Moon Queen, always a problem, always good to address. Slither, also a bit of an issue, especially when paired with Bubbles. Kelpfield locks people down, and then Poison Burst comes out and hits a bunch of people, does a ton of damage, and they can't move. So plenty of sensible bans there from ALG on the Legion side. Nick will take out NG, Torture, and Balfagor, so a couple of supports, as the Legion are lacking in support, but they will pick up Rhapsody. I love that pick. And the Balf last selection, interesting. A bit of utility here, could potentially suicide, so maybe that's what they're thinking, but I don't really see that fitting this lineup so well. The push would be a bit of an issue, especially with Rhapsody, and so maybe that's going to be what they're thinking, but I think they probably should go for more of a traditional suicide here, something a little more defensive, just because with some burst magic maybe even. And obviously Bubbles is already gone, so I'm not sure who that would be. Maybe Pharaoh for the initiation. That would certainly be powerful and strong. Drunken Master could also work extremely well. Drunken and Pesty obviously a strong combination, and Pesty suicides, or sorry, Drunken suicides pretty well. That's assuming, of course, they don't suicide the Keeper. But the Rhapsody going to be the fourth pick here for the Legion side. I love it. I said that they should have done that last game. They didn't listen to me, so we'll see what they do this time. Obviously pairs very well with the Keeper in the pushing phase, and in the laning phase, Pesty and Rhapsody in the middle lane is an extremely powerful combination. The Dance Floor Staccato following up Pesty's damage very, very well, providing a lot of lockdown, and just generally being a hero that you don't want to deal with. Obviously the Protective Melody as an ultimate too is very powerful, and going to be a bit of an issue for this Hellborn team to deal with, as like I said, they are pretty heavy on the burst. So if Rhapsody gets a decent enough, just for 1 or 2 seconds, gets that Protective Melody off, that can basically mitigate all of Hellborn's damage, because it's going to come out in a second. This is not going to be a situation where Rhapsody, has to sit there and channel for 3 seconds, because that's how long it takes them to put out their damage. They can keep doing damage, so eventually she will get killed and the Hellborn will still have damage. No. If she gets it at the right time, she has the potential to essentially eliminate all of Hellborn's damage, because it is all burst at this point. Bubbles, Parasite, and Rally, they don't have sustained damage in team fights. That's not what they're about. So Android going to be the fourth pick here for Hellborn. Going to provide some mitigation against that Rhapsody, as well as the catch potential for Legion, because they do have some of that as well. Pesty Portal Key, Keeper Portal Key, plus the Nature's Veil, and Wretched Hag with the Blink. There is some gank here, and it is going to be the Drunken Master. So I called that. I'm so proud of myself. Yeah, Drunken obviously fitting very, very well with this team. Pesty, Drunken, an extremely powerful combination, as Pesty puts the bugs up, and Drunken's like, hey, I have ridiculous amounts of physical damage, so that's really helpful. And of course the Bulwark on top of that, potentially a shield breaker as well, and it literally is going to take 2 hits for this Android to die. Possibly Bubbles as well, depending on how farmed he gets in the early game. Bushwhack. Alright. But let's finish the Legion team real fast. So Legion, I'm loving this lineup here. Lots of lockdown here. Keeper of the Forest, Pestilence, Drunken Master, and Rhapsody, all possessing some sort of lockdown. Keeper obviously with the root not as consistently available, but that's 3 solid stuns. They also have extremely strong lanes for Keeper in the jungle, Pesty and Rhapsody in the middle, Drunken in the suicide. They could theoretically suicide the Hag too, so there's a little bit of versatility, but I do hope that they don't do that. I think Hag in the short lane is probably their best bet. They could short Drunken Master and suicide Hag, and that really wouldn't be too bad at all, but we'll see what they choose to do. A little bit of versatility there helping, making sure that they're not going to get caught in terms of, oh, these are massively predictable lanes, then we can outlane you. Not just because, even if they do go the predictable route, I'm not sure if it's going to matter. Drunken picking up items, like he might go or short lane here. We'll see what they choose to do. Hag has, yeah, I think Hag is suiciding here. She's got all sorts of regen, and she has the ring. So yeah, this is definitely going to be a Drunken solo bot, a Pesty and Rhapsody middle, and a suicide Hag, which is fine. I think I maybe would have slightly preferred the Drunken suicide, but I can certainly understand why they want to do that, especially if Hellborn are in a dual lane up here with Bushwhack and Andromeda, and it looks like what they're doing actually a pseudo tri-lane really with Parasite in his own jungle. And so Bushwhack. The thing that comes out to me about the Bushwhack is A, short range, and B, squishy as hell. So he has a decent enough escape mechanism in that sidestep, but it's sort of like, it's not really, it's an evasion tool, I guess. It's not an escape mechanism. It makes him harder to catch and kill, but it doesn't really get him out of fights. Now, because the Legion side is so mobile, with Stagger and Lunge and Blink and 2 Portal Keys very likely coming out, I'm not sure that that sidestep is going to do enough for him, and he is squishy as hell if you catch him. 511 health right now, that is the third lowest on his team behind Bubbles and Andromeda, or ahead of Bubbles and Andromeda, and obviously he has more stat items than either of them do, with the Pretender's Crown and the Minor Totem. So this is just not a hero that is prone to being able to survive very long in fights, and the Hellborn side is generally not AoE lockdown here. If they had the Chronos, if they had the Keeper, if they had heroes like that that jump into a team fight, drop an ultimate that locks down 4 heroes, I think I'd like the Bushwhack pick a lot more. But the only thing they have that can really do that is the Kelp Field, which isn't a consistent stun. It just sort of keeps you in place for a while, and Rhapsody putting a ton of damage onto this Bubbles. And he's going to have to take a health bot here. For some reason, just taking to eat a tree. I don't know why. I'd pop the health bot here if you want to stay in lane at all. So Rhapsody's just come right back here and be like, alright, Archer there going to be annoying, and he'll take a Shell Surf. But this is going to be pretty easy free farm for Drunken on bot. It's actually, they do send this Rhapsody bottom for him. Not sure if that was necessary. I think it might have been a little bit better paired with Pestilence in the middle lane, as last game we had the Rally Pesty matchup that Rally won pretty handily. Of course, the gank helps, as Ophelia had come in from the woods. Up top, we have the Suicide Hag up against Bushwhack and Andromeda, and this probably won't be too dangerous for Hag. Even if she takes a Comet Stun, it's unlikely they'll have the burst to finish her off, unless they do a lot of harass like that. If Parasite comes in from the side with a Minotaur or a Skeleton King or something like that, there might be enough, but I significantly doubt that she's going to be in too much trouble here. Comet Stun there, and a lot of auto attacks, and she needs to blink. Just does get away. Actually, she's off to the side, and she's going to drop here now because they can see her. We'll grab a health pot and take it. Now going to have to be in a little bit of trouble. Off for the bottom, actually, Bubbles falls to the Bloodlust. Going to get found in the trees here. Oh, Shell Surf away, but there's the stuns, and now he can't pour it, and now you're in trouble, buddy. Meanwhile, off to the side, Hag has blink up, so we'll just blink back to the wave and be fine. And now Bushwhack going to have to run all the way around, so that sucks for him. Went deep trying to get that Hag killed, and not really going to work out too well, as Hag gets a couple of CS as a result. So actually they do nearly get the kill on the Hag, and with a little more coordination and a little bit better luck perhaps on those auto attacks, you know, it is a range, and I don't know if he hit the high end in every single one of those, but I doubt it, and if they had, then there's a reasonably good chance it would have been a kill. I think the Aurora also missed. So actually Rhapsody will transition mid, it looks like, here, and help out this Pesty, as once they had that Bloodlust kill onto Bubbles in the bot lane, figuring Drunken Master's got this, don't need him anymore, and Pesty can now be assisted by Rhapsody and totally dominate this middle lane. So Bloodlust coming out there, obviously helping, but a 1500 gold lead and an 850 experience lead coming off the lead inside. Demoralizing Roar there will do a little bit, but not too much. Illusion Bubbles are all over the place, but gonna have to be really careful in this lane, as Drunken should have pretty easy control and really shouldn't die at any point to this Bubbles. A little too tanky for the burst damage that he has to lock Drunken down. And if he goes for the kill, you know, like, oh, I'm going to put a bunch of damage on you, put a Kelp Field so you can't go anywhere, Drunken will probably just turn it and kill him. Or at least survive. So the Rhapsody transition here, I like this a little bit better than what they were doing before. And Hag up top continually needing health potions. Actually, we'll grab one there. Pause coming up, but again, we don't care. Ah. Rally continually using that Demoralizing Roar to snipe creep kills. Drunken continuously pressuring this Bubbles on bot, forced to health pot and use the Shell Surf to get away. Once again, just stopping this. Even taking some tower damage there as he activates the Ghost Marchers. And Drunken hits super hard, like that's his trademark, man. He's those auto attacks, especially after he staggers. They become an issue. I'm going to push this bot tower as well. The Ballista will help with some damage. So Andro off in the woods, sort of helping Parasite, who has been rather inactive here. 4.5 minutes, we haven't seen him gank yet. I mean, it is hard to gank a Hag. She is so damn evasive. But I can understand why they'd be like, alright, it's not even worth it, Parasite, you should just take the free farm in the jungle and we'll take our free farm on top. We'll box ride a little bit, but try to ensure that we get as much gold per minute as possible. Stacato's there will not stop the compel. Notable though that Keeper is out farming that Parasite. 255 GPM compared to 211, and Bushwhack at top only at 270 gold per minute compared to the 400 GPM of Drunken and the 360 of Pesty. Obviously, pretty big wins in both of those lanes. Now Hag up top is only at 85 gold per minute, so she's having a bit of a suffer time, but with the strong starts here from the three other farmers on Legion's side, it shouldn't be that big a deal. Impalement not going to hit anything. Impale, sorry. On bottom, Drunken looking for something on Bubbles, will get the Shell Surf off and should be okay. Still is chasing, has lunge, but doesn't want to dive that far. So Bubbles continuously forced out of this bottom lane by Drunken Master. And he just says, Jesus, yeah. A lot of damage. A lot of harass. Very annoying. Bushwhack up top, pretty much having free farm, of course, as Hag has essentially been forced out of this lane, missing a CS there. He sucks. He's so bad. I don't know, I guess he got one there. Maybe he's not that bad. Hag venturing middle for a while, perhaps looking for a kill. Yes, they have the old tri-lane Hag Pesty Rhapsody standard. That's standard. Finally, once again, we got level 4 Bubbles, so doing actually a little bit better than this Hag is, despite getting bloodlusted down there, as he has 107 gold per minute, and he is level 4 compared to Hag's 3. But considering how well Drunken is doing compared to how well Bushwhack is doing, I think that the Legion side will take that. But just under 7 minutes now, and we only have the 1 kill, so not too much aggression going out for either side, especially odd considering they have the Parasite in the woods. Rhapsody going to try to jump this, or sorry, Rally going to try to Rhapsody with the haste on, but the Nature's Veil helping out. And probably wouldn't have been a kill even if he had dropped the Seismic Slam. Off to the side, Rhapsody going to put some more harassment of this Bubbles. Takata Sun's already used, and Bubbles basically going to be forced out of lane, going to use the Shell Surf here, and we'll be able to pour it out. Dance Floor wasted a little bit there. Pretty passive game, like I was saying. Bushwhack continuing just to farm up here, 350 GPM, still being competed with by that Pesty and out-farmed by the Drunken bot. That's shit. I see something actually happens, I'm not even there. Rally in the middle, gonna get stunned and rooted, and now you're dead. Kind of a stun from Andrew, trying to help him out a little bit, but not quite in time. His keeper yells about how he should be rooted to the ground. Bubbles and DM on bot. Bubbles finally getting some lane control back here. We'll get some CS as a result. Is level 5, so is Hag though. And his Bushwhack's actually in the woods, farming out these camps. It looks like I don't even know what that's called. The Splinter Shot. There you go. Helping out a little bit. But doesn't really have the. You know, this is a problem. Is it doesn't have the health to stand up to these creep waves, so he can't really farm it all that effectively right now. Now later on, if he gets the light brand or some health or something like that, then he should be able to do it a little bit better. But as of right now, it's an issue. So we'll see what he goes for. Ghost Marches right off the bat, and he's going to pop a health potion just to help him survive there. But Hag is, as a result, going to take some free CS up in this top lane. And on bottom, Rhapsody places a ward, so Bubble's hiding in the trees here. We'll get spotted out by that. And Rhapsody coming back off to the side like, alright, let's see what we can do about this. Perhaps going to jump. Drunken Master going to run right into him though, and yeah, Bubbles is like, boy, that's not suspicious. We'll be able to get away. Drunken heading back to his lane. Pesty and Rally going at it in mid once again. Obviously Pesty having a nice time thanks to Rhapsody coming in for a couple of minutes and helping him out. Pushing that Rally off the lane, letting Pesty have some CS, get his bottle up, get the kill as well as Keeper came in with the root. Interesting, I think Keeper at this point has been doing more ganking than Parasite has. 10 minutes into this game, I don't think I've seen Parasite gank once. Drunken on bot, as Rhapsody looking for this Bubbles, we'll find him. Dance Floor goes down, and Scotto Stun's going to do a bunch of damage, obviously. Invis Rally with a double damage, though, so now you're in some trouble here, Rhapsody. Gonna get blocked a little bit. There's the Compel, and sorry, buddy. Don't even need a Seismic Slam, just realizing that one-on-one attack is plenty. And Rap gonna fall. Should note that Noah on that Rhapsody played the Chronos last game, which was a little interesting considering he's on the support role this time. And of course, previous game it was ALG on the support Plague Rider, so switching roles up a little bit here. Interesting. Both Mini Beaver and Akam Jindal as actually bot tower falls, thanks to the Keeper push. Hellborn looking like they're going to move up middle. I was saying both Mini Beaver and Akam Jindal there are playing the same heroes. The difference, of course, is last game Hag was in the short lane. This game it's a Suicide Hag. And last game we had the Chronos on Reynoa and Side Cash on the Pestilence. This time it's ALG, and Side Cash has taken the short laner. So swapping up heroes in a couple of places, swapping up some roles. Interesting that the temp team has chosen to do that. Always nice when you have players that can play multiple roles. The question then obviously becomes, are they good enough? Like, do you want them to have focus on one role, or do you want them to be like, oh, well, we picked a Wretched Hag, and he's going to go on the same player, but that doesn't necessarily mean he's going to be in the short lane this time. He could be Suicide. Obviously providing quite a lot, because, you take any of the top teams, and you can honestly mostly predict their lanes based purely on, up top we missed a kill onto Bushwhack, as Pesty does have a portal key. There's the jump with a double damage rune and a Bat Blast. Pretty easy kill there, a couple auto attacks. Meanwhile, the Ancients, 3 heroes here. Rhapsody gets stunned by the Nature's Veil, immediately stuns out, and Root goes off. Gonna try to get away here. Nature's Veil goes off, so they're gonna sacrifice the Rhapsody. Drunken gonna run away as fast as he possibly can. Kelpfield does not hit anything, as Keeper was lucky because that would have killed him. Rally, it compels forward. I don't think he hit the Demoralizing Roar there, so he will be alright. Stealing those Ancients there, a little risky. They do lose Rhapsody for it, but they get out without any further casualties. Pesty with a double damage still looking for something. They're going to jump in here onto Rally. Should get him pretty quickly. Take a Combo Stun on Pesty though, and will he survive? Yeah. Maybe no follow-up here. Parasite throwing an auto attack. As his farm really hasn't been good. 230 gold per minute, considering he hasn't been ganking all. Jump there on Bubbles once again. Going to take the stun, and that's going to be another kill. Parasite and Bushwhack here, perhaps looking to get something on Drunken Master as just the Ghost Marchers, no mana left. As he does have a stun, so he can turn around and help out this Drunken. Just going to be there. Parasite, one more auto attack. Oh god, there it is, face hug. Don't even need the auto attack. So they do pick up Side Cash there. A little too aggressive there, and the Impel from Pesty I think was late. Probably could have hit too if he went at it a little bit earlier and saved that Drunken Master. Regardless, they got to be pretty okay with that. They ended up picking 2 more heroes off, and 3 actually. They killed the Andromeda, I think. No, they didn't. It was just Bubbles and Rally. And they lose a Drunken, but for 2 kills, that's not the worst thing in the world. 414 gold per minute near now on Pesty, as Drunken's just ahead of him, but Bushwhack at 370. Not having the greatest time here, and the rest of his team is really suffering pretty hard. Rally at 156. Pesty at 250, and like I said, he hasn't ganked at all, so his GPM probably should be higher. He does tend to get a lot of his farm from hero kills, as actually Rally when he jumped on here, Compel obviously available, gonna get locked down, and he will be okay. Swap out on something. I'm not sure what. It was the Portal Key Pestilence. He Portal Keyed in, and then got swapped or something like that. Rooted down on 3 now as the kill field goes on the same mail. They're gonna fall immediately. Bat Blast hitting 3, and that's gonna finish a couple more off. Rhapsody gonna help finish. Alright, it's just Andrew that's just dying. So that's 4 for nothing there. So well played. The root coming in at just the right time, and now they're gonna push this middle tower. I think I was drunk for that team fight because I started yelling things that weren't even close to true. Hag gonna port bottom, defend there as the rest of the team pushes in middle, and here's where the Rhapsody Keeper shows up. Dance floor plus those minions, man, it's just so powerful because it takes so long to kill them. It's helpful with Tempest, but Tempest Elementals don't really get that many extra auto attacks. Because the trees have so much more health, it's much harder to kill them with a dance floor now, and they survive for a lot longer. They're gonna try to get a pick here on the Keeper, but it's not gonna happen. He has the Nature's Veil up, and they don't have any detection on health. Sorry, they do have a Dust, but Rally apparently didn't hit. Didn't get hit by it. Interesting. Shrunken, clearly the next item of choice here for Drunken after the Soul's Bulwark, and that's a solid pickup, I think, with the Hellborn side having as much magic damage as they do, Parasite and Bubbles in particular. And then, of course, the Andro Stun. The swap will still go through it, as it is superior magic, so he can still target heroes that are Shrunken-headed, but it's basically going to stop everything coming out from both Parasite and Bubbles, as well as one stun from Andro. Definitely a solid choice here. Drunken Master is extremely dependent on his mobility, staggering in and out, lunging forward, and not really backward, but forward. After the side, Parasite not in a creep, just running through the Legion jungle. Will be spotted here by Keeper. I need to get hit once. Nature's Veil goes off. Port coming in here as well, as Pesty is trying to defend this middle tower, which is mostly alive. Pesty gonna put the stun there, but Bubbles gonna get compelled over the ledge, and he'll be fine. Bugs are on him, but I don't think this can matter, as the Keeper root is available. There's 4 heroes here for the Hellborn. They really shouldn't be chasing this anymore. Hated Rhapsody coming in from the side, but it's not gonna be in time. 4 Hellborn heroes, or Legion heroes grouped up a little bit now. Pesty and Rhapsody both leaving, as Rajtag is farming the bottom, so last game, Hellborn were really good at taking map control early, pushing towers down, and using that to their advantage. This side, it's the opposite. And this time, it's the guys over here on temp team that are like, we're going to push you. Obviously, taking both towers in mid and in bottom, have taken nothing up on top, but they are in possession of all 3 of their tier 1 towers, most of which are a lot of health. I mean, none of them are in deny range, and the top one is the only one that's close. So we'll see if they continue the aggression here. Certainly at 17.5 minutes in, having 4 towers down and 2 secondaries is pretty impressive. And considering that they've stopped the push so heavily, it's also very nice. Like I said in the beginning, you know, the thing that Ophelia really brings over Parasite is that push. And as a result of having Parasite instead of Ophelia, the Hellborn just don't have a lot of push potential at this point. Not to mention the anti-push is reasonably strong here from the Legion side. Dance Floor, Hag stuff, and the Stagger as well are quite good at cleaning up creep waves. So if they bring in, you know, even a couple of waves, then it's not necessarily going to be the easiest thing to actually push in a tower, because they can get cleaned up pretty fast. No real forms of extra building damage either, so going to be a bit of an issue for them. 390 GPM on that Bushwhack, but he's now being exceeded by 3 heroes in the Legion side. Pesty Keeper has gone up above him now in the meantime. Parasite up top has a Catman. We'll farm this lane out a little bit. And just Parasite just not really doing much. I mean, I keep coming back to that and saying it over and over again. And really, I should be picking out Rally probably more than Parasite, because Rally's at less than 150 gold per minute. And he was in a solo lane for a lot of the early games, so I mean, Rhapsody wasn't really mid or bottom. She was sort of roaming more than anything else. So no surprise that Rally didn't win that lane. It is a bit of a surprise how badly he seems to have lost it, considering the 400 GPM on Pestilence and the 150 GPM on Rally. Obviously, Pesty having the benefit of 7 hero kill involvement, 4 of which he actually got, so you can't ignore that, but Nonetheless, the CS battle is massively in Pesty's favor, 93 and 34 compared to a 42 and 26. So Pesty having more than twice as many CSs this rally. And actually in middle, you see a drop on Hag there. As Parasite's here, Facehug is level 2, Silence is there, and the Codex is also Bushwhack. Gonna sidestep forward and help finish off the kill. Up top, we are gonna see the push here from Legion, as I suspected. We're gonna see a jump onto Andrew off to the side. She's easily gonna, oh god, compel. But the lunge is available and they're just gonna catch her. Yep, that's it. So, they do die a little bit there under the Andrew, but they get the kill, then they'll turn around and grab a kill onto this top tower. Hellborn finally get a tower kill in the middle. And on bottom, they're pressuring this as well, but a port's coming in. They're going to try to do this. Nope, not going to happen. And his bubbles ports away, but this bot tower is deniable. Top tower falls in the meantime. It looks like Legion will abandon this push a little bit, having lost both Pesty and Wretched Hag, not feeling comfortable pushing a secondary tier 2, or secondary tower, and it's probably the right decision. Pesty finishing off the Drunken. Drunken already has his. Hag going the Grimoire route here with the light brand picked up already, 600 gold on top of that, so should have a Grimoire here in the next 5 minutes or so. And she is sitting at 317 gold per minute. And that's pretty solid Grimoire timing here, especially for a Suicide Hag. And she has recovered very nicely. Drunken is invis, thanks to Nature's Veil. So is Rhapsody. Gonna get dusted actually on both of them, and the Compel will hit too as well. Seismic Slam stopped by the Staccato Stun. Still drops thanks to the Version Parasite, so dust there at an opportune time. And Compel is done very well lined up. Middle Hag gonna get caught out again, but blinks away. Kelpfield's available, there it is. She takes the stun and she's trying to run away. Bushwhack with Ghost Marcher is not going to be enough as Blink is available once again. So trying to get the kill on Hag. Choosing to take the Kelpfield stun. I like that. I mean, you used to see this all the time where people would never, ever, ever take that Kelpfield stun. And it sort of baffled me. Like, I can understand in some situations why you wouldn't want that. Bubble's going to get jumped on here by Pestilence, and without a Shell Surf, he's totally screwed. Bushwhack actually rocketing up here a little bit, 460 gold per minute all of a sudden. And he will finish the Dawnbringer, so that Light Brand obviously helping farm quite a lot. So he's becoming a bit of a threat. The issue is the rest of his team just isn't there. He's got some sustained damage, but there isn't enough lockdown. Parasite's only going to provide burst. And this Legion side is highly mobile and difficult to kill. The Nature's Veil, the Stagger, the Blank, the Protective Melody, all the stuns coming out, the Root. It's just going to be really, really hard for this Bushwhack to continuously put in those auto attacks, which are getting dangerous. Parasite off to the side, perhaps looking for something, has the Codex up, of course. There goes the Facehug, but he's going to get jumped now, and there's the lunge and the Staccatos. Now you're in trouble, buddy. Not a good decision. Top tower will be denied. So Hellborn picking up about 3 tower kills here in 5 minutes, but 2 of them were denied, so not quite as much gold as they would normally grab. Up top we got 4 heroes pushing this out, perhaps looking to take Hellborn's last Adder Tower. SD in middle looking for a jump on Andro, will get it, and that's going to be a dead Andromeda. Pops the Shrunken just to make sure he doesn't get stunned, but probably wasn't even necessary. And we'll be able to run away with a flight. Off to the side, looking for the portal queue here, but the Hasted Bubbles is there, and stun onto 1, actually. Bat Blast as well on the Bushwhack. Kelpfield goes off, he's in some trouble still. Last auto attack will just kill him. As those bugs is deadly, man. So, a couple of picks there in favor of the Legion side. It looks like they're going to be able to finish off this top tower as well, with Keeper and Drunken pushing it in. Glyph goes off, not really going to do much though. That's not really a great use of the Glyph in my opinion. I don't know why teams do that. Because now if they push, they know it's not up. And they might be able to break base as a result. Grimoire finished up on Hag, so even less than that 5-minute window I was suggesting. Only closer to 3.5. Off to the side here, Parasite's you're in a lot of trouble there, buddy. Gonna get jumped by this Pestilence. And there's the stun, there's the Staccatos, you're just dead. So, it's getting to the point now where Hellborn can't really be safe, even, 2,000 units out of their jungle. Or out of their base, I mean. Their entire jungle is destroyed. They've warded up pretty good on the Hellborn side. There's obviously no map control left as they've taken all the towers here, but well before 25 minutes. And the gank squad is in full effect with that Pestilence portal key being available, plus the Staccato Stones and Rhapsody, which is a bit of an issue. Rally going to be jumped here on top of the Keeper jump, and just so much damage coming out. Compel Away will save him, but obviously you can see how quickly he was dropping there. If Rhapsody had been there with the Staccatos, it would have been an issue. Bushwhack off on bottom. I'm going to try to get this Hag. Blink away, and she will just port out. Should be alright. Yep. So, Bushwhack trying to grab a kill there. It does not. Now, realizing how deep he is, needs to port away himself. So, obviously, Legion side up pretty substantially here. 17.5k gold, 13k experience, and you're trying to look for the road back here for Hellborn, and I'm not really finding it. A lot of their heroes here are oriented in the mid-game, so they should be their most powerful right now, which means things aren't going to get much better, and they're already really bad. I mean, that suggests to me that this is probably not going to be a very favorable outcome for them. There's just too much farm here on these heroes for Legion, and it's only going to get worse as Hag has Minister Grimoire. We've already got 400 plus gold, 450 really plus on both Pesty and Drunken. We've got 380 on Keeper and Hag. I mean, this is just getting more and more out of control. Bushwhack has elevated himself to their farm level, but the rest of his team just isn't there. They're not even close. I mean, he has more than 200 GPM more than the second highest farmer in his team in that Parasite. And, I mean, the lack of map control here also means that they have to be careful about farming. So, this isn't even a situation where they could go, okay, well, we're behind in resources, but we'll just sit here and rice. That's not really a viable strategy because it would require the Legion side to let them, essentially. And I sort of doubt that's going to be the case. Considering the gank squads they've been running, it seems like Legion's like, okay, let's keep fighting. Let's keep picking people off. Let's make it so you're not safe anywhere you are, and we'll continue to force you into your base. So, once again, the gank squad here, and the counter ward going down will destroy this ward, which was just placed, so well done there by Rhapsody. And Legion, Hellborn as a result, have 3 warriors, 2 highly defensive over here, and 1 in the bot river spot and Kongor out. Legion, of course, have to be mindful of Kongor at this point. That's certainly an option for them. Get a token onto somebody, probably the Drunken Master, maybe Pestilence. Those are really the best candidates for them, as they are the strongest initiators. They're going to be in the front lines. They don't have escape mechanisms that are quite as powerful as Hags. So they do see this jumping in, and the Hellborn side will scout them out with the Shell Surf. But Legion looking to gear up for a convoy here. Nature's Veil goes out. Possibly trying to scout. Drunken here. Going to go in as well. And Hellborn are in a retreat as they obviously see people coming in thanks to the ward. Not really a fight they want to take at this point. Drunken continuing to jump. Is still invisible. Over here, going to be jump and a root on the Bushwhack. They're trying to burst him down real fast. Will get the stun, but actually nice swap out there from Andro. Kelfield does nothing as the Shrunken Heads are all up. It looks like we're going to see a pretty easy kill on the rally there, and Bushwhack going to fall next. In fact, Bubbles will drop despite having the Shell Surf out. Gets jumped on by Drunken, and now they're going to push this in base. And this should be a Rax. Bushwhack buying back. I'm not sure he's going to be able to do too much. The lockdown is still up for this Legion side. I mean, Impel stun's back. Drunken has a stun once again. If they want to jump this again, they can. Shell Surf comes out as Bubbles also buys out. But again, no Kelp Field. And the Legion side are going to retreat, as all the buybacks there apparently are enough to force them back. They can reinitiate on this. Off to the side, Pesty will jump too. Comet's done there, but they're going to kill Bubbles so fast. Rhapsody Protective Melody saving Pestilence so hard as they manage to pick Parasite off, and Rally is still dead, of course. Bushwhack off to the side, getting jumped. He'll fall. So like I said, the reinitiation is still there, as their cooldowns really were never down for a long enough. Bushwhack buying back again. So that's his second and final buyout. Same thing with Bubbles, and they do still kill a tower. So they forced 4 total buyouts from the Hellborn side. Bubbles and Bushwhack are both out of them. They still kill the tower. They get out without losing anybody. I think it's safe to say that was a successful engagement for this Legion side. I think that's probably the correct assessment of that of how that went. Perhaps over here going to stack these Ancients. I just free farming bottom, so figuring we got a tower, we forced a bunch of buyouts. Our cooldowns are now on cooldown, as Rhapsody's Protective Melody was down, Roots down, Vatblast down, so let's just wait. Rhapsody Illusion will be killed pretty easily, so Roots back up now. Vatblast will be up in about 10 seconds, Rhapsody ult in 35 or so. Invis Keeper sitting here in middle. Perhaps looking for somebody. Jump there by Pestilence. Has the root, obviously. Will put down onto 4. Immediate kill onto Rally. There goes Parasite as well. And Andro tries to get the swap out to save Bushwhack, but might not be enough. That's 3 for nothing so far. Puts the Jungle Toxin down. Bubbles throwing a Shell Surf out and a Kelp Field, but the Drunken Master Shrunken Head, and he's just like 3 hits and now you're dead. Pesty also going to stun this Bushwhack, and that's a Genocide. So that's game. I'm expecting to see the CC vote in any second.
A Hellborn barracks has been destroyed.
But apparently, Hellborn not feeling like it is. Andro's back alive. Obviously, both Bubbles and Bushwhack are dead for a while because they don't have buybacks. Andro going to take a haunt here. Will get dove, and there's the pause. I assume that was a attempt to be a CC vote. Everybody left. Okay, I'm concerned about this. Everybody on the Legion side seems to have left, and Andromeda is reconnecting. Oh, did they CC during the pause? That must be what happened. Okay, never mind. Clearly they CC'd during the pause, and because of auto-skip pause, we just went straight through it. It actually is not giving me a disconnect button, which is really interesting. But anyway, game 2 will go to the guys on temp team as they take this pretty easily. Really strong laning phase from them, and then they just destroy their opponents. So that's going to tie the series up 1-1, and we'll move on to game 3.